What's up? How you guys doing? We're live because we are. Let's do that. Cross our fingers. The weather is warmer. It is nice. It's funny, I wear a dark hoodie and now everything's dark. I'm still getting set up here a little bit. We're going to jump right into it. Catching up on a couple of things. Car gang first. You are AJ overall.
Nice. Tint stuff is now live.
Hey, so I ordered film and it says it's partially shipped. Did you order? Yeah, I got your email yesterday. I sent you one back. Others arrived. So, did you get my replies? There was one that was, so the film shipped separately from the tools, and it's supposed to be there today. So, as far as if you ordered other stuff direct from Geo, that I don't know. But you will get whatever you ordered from me. That is, the rest of that is going to be there today. I'm at the zoo. Dang, that sounds like a fun day. Well, have a good one. I want to go to the zoo. You know, we went to the Detroit Zoo during like the shutdown. And there were like no animals. It was like just a giant park walkthrough. We're real like, what the hell? I don't know what was going on that day, but they did not have any animals, and it was a hot day. Someone asked if you can do double 5 all the way around and nothing on the windshield. Would you price double because 2 layers on each window? Yeah, for sure. It's also like, I mean, you'd want a little bit of dry time. So you could like do the doors, then work on the back, and then come back around and redo the doors. But you have to basically, you still have to roll them up and down some and whatnot. So, I mean, I always advise just get a darker film. It'll save you money. And, you know, it's something I can potentially take care of. But, you know, if something peels, I wouldn't hold it probably under the same warranty because it's kind of like a toss-up, like if you really want it. But I don't get that question from people I tint for, so like maybe once. So it's not really something I put much thought into, I guess is the best way to describe it, because it just doesn't happen for me. Trying to figure out pricing. Pricing is dependent a lot on, like, it'll vary a lot on your area, alongside, like, what materials that you offer. So, I mean, some places, including mine, has their prices kind of publicly listed, at least for, like, the main vehicles and stuff. I know Alligator was another one who posts his right on his website. So, kind of just depends on where you're at. You could call around and get an idea of what people are shopping for, and then adjust accordingly. I say start over 200, but charge for your time. Yeah, there's a number of ways you could do it too, but you know, in the very beginning, it's kind of hard to know what you should charge for your time and what it's going to take you and everything. It also depends, like, see, here's like the sliding scale too, is like charge what you need to make per job, but jobs will vary per time, and then the amount of work that you have in the beginning also varies, and the busier you get, the more money you're going to make. So it kind of is hard to figure out if you're not, like, it's hard to figure out in general what to charge for anything when you see everything on the back end and you're like, well, is this appropriate? I guess. So one real good key way to figure that out is kind of like, you can charge as much as you want, but you're only going to get so many people at any particular price point. So what are most people already shopping around for? And then if you, I don't want to say just like fall in line with them, but it's kind of like a good baseline to get like, oh, okay, so these prices is kind of what most people are doing. So when I'm trying to build a client base and people are just cold calling me and I'm trying to build that up, I'm not saying do exactly the same thing everybody else is doing, but you at least know what people are shopping for and then you can adjust. I don't even think I introduced the car today. So we have an Audi A5, which is a hatchback that doesn't look like a hatchback, which is pretty awesome. We're doing 5% on all the sides and the rear. Nothing on the windshield. So we're starting here. Oh, and I also made a TikTok, so that's what these are for. I have another shade video that I'm gonna put out today. Ooh, I know what I should do. I just remembered. I should make it, and then, oh shoot, I should have made it, and then had it ready when I go live. Maybe I'll, ooh, this will be hard for me to do. Maybe I'll release it tomorrow. Or I guess it doesn't matter. I wanted to see what would happen if more people would share it when I first released the video. Boost it. I haven't done that with anything yet, but I think that would be fun. But do you guys ever get the question, like, is ceramic darker than regular tint? That's what this video is going to address. I like it. It should be pretty good. I just got to think of the, oh, I should put a little bit more thought into it. I always got to think of the wording in the videos for too long. Is this that TikTok? Yes. Yes, it is going to be another TikTok. It's like, how do I want to frame it? So I guess I can ask you guys about that. Because with any video that I post, there's like a number of ways that I can do it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys the video. It's not done, but I'm going to show you guys where I'm at on the video. Okay, so this is the draft for it right now.
Is ceramic tint darker than regular tint? Is ceramic tint darker than regular tint?
So 77 on the glass, 16, 16, 17, 14.
Is ceramic tint darker than regular tint?
I really like that. It's a very clear illustration that ceramic tint varies in shade just like any other film. But that was the question I wanted to answer there. What I want to figure out now is how to sell the beginning of that video. So what I mean by that is like, what is the most interesting thing I can say right in the beginning of the video that's going to grab somebody's attention? So I went a little strong with the other one, like the other shade video that I did, I said, your tint may be illegal and you not even know it. And then that was so I could then say, glass isn't 100% clear, and combining the shade. Oh, you know what? I got another one. Let me go grab that. Combining the shade with the glass will change the percentage. So for this, I could just straight up ask the question, is regular tint darker, or is ceramic tint darker than regular tint? Because that's a pretty strong question right there. But I always wonder, is there a way I can make it sound even stronger than that? Where are my... I had extra ones. I brought a bunch of them. We did a bunch of cleaning. Is it here? Ah! No, it's not. It's not this. That's an empty box. Why is that an empty box? Where's my extra knives? Oh, shit. I'm sad now. I bought a bunch of extra knives and blades and stuff, and I totally forgot where I even put them. But they're somewhere around here. Oh, well, I'll get started. That's fine. What's your knowledge with XPEL film? I know the manufacturer, but I don't have it. Yeah, we're doing 5. So we gotta grab this guy. This guy right here. Highly don't recommend removing a Ford mirror. Cost me $500 and an upset client. That sucks a lot. 5 for, or sorry, this is the film shade. Yeah, there's one type of Ford mirror that removes very consistently and easily with like a little flathead screwdriver. And then there's another Ford mirror that just leave it alone. Sounds like you had that one. Sorry to hear that. I've learned the hard way. So the easier to remove one too, there's people that do it wrong, including me for a while. So a glass shop told me, yeah, just take your hand, get it towards the base of that mirror, and then just yank it off. They said, we do that all day, every day, and we don't break glass. But they're removing it, here's the trick. They're removing it on windshields that are already broken, so they don't care if they break it farther. What I found out is if you do that same thing on aftermarket glass, and that glass is not super great, which is quite a bit of aftermarket glass because people like to save money, then you will literally pull a chunk of glass clean out of the window. And that's what I did, because I'm so strong. Ford mirrors that have a torque screw. Oh, yeah. That's the easiest one now. I'm so happy they finally did that. I can't believe they finally put a torque screw. I'm so proud of them. Can we give claps to Ford? Good job, Ford. Way to make sensible decisions for anybody working on your cars, including your own mechanics that actually break your own glass. I pulled a chunk of glass right out. Ooh, yep, I did that. Because I'm so strong. That's right. Only super strong people can pull chunks of glass clean out of it. So it was funny. I always had this flashback every time I went to do that. And so there's this one day I had a Mustang for like a stereo shop that we were tinting for at the time. And it was like front doors and like a full windshield or something like that. So out in the parking lot, I'm gonna just yank off the mirror really quick and then pull the car in. And then I pull that mirror, And you just have that little flashback right before it happens. Like, hey, I remember that time that I completely ruined a Taurus windshield doing this. And the exact same thing happened. And I'm like, ah! And it just hurts. Because now, whatever money that you're making on the job is just woof, out the window. Because at that point, it's like, you just want to take care of them, right? So, sorry about the inconvenience. Now you got to go get your glass replaced, blah, 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 blah. We'll take care of it. This sucks. So, yeah, I've done that. F. Is tinting the front windshield beneficial to protecting the dash and the front leather from sun damage? It is, actually. Yes, it is. So there's already UV being blocked with the windshield, but having added protection and then also absorbing a lot of that heat because your dash can get dried out and stuff like that over time. But yeah, it is very helpful for your interior. You'll especially see it on like rear windows because like windshields have like a laminate that can block UV and stuff. Tempered glass doesn't have that. So all the sides in the rear especially, you're adding UV protection to the interior. And I see it on particularly old vehicles, especially ones with fabric interiors. The rear headrests and tops of the back seats will definitely be like super sun faded. It's pretty crazy. Because vehicles sitting outside, UV, like, I mean, shoot, just leave a t-shirt outside over the summer. That thing will look way different by the end of that summer for sure. So that's what's happening to your car interior. Ooh, that would make a good TikTok, huh? I like that. You're smart. Thank you for asking that question. I like when people give me TikTok ideas. How can we avoid crazy videos in the group? You can leave it. Unfortunately, there will always be crazy ones. It sucks. Where the edge of the headliner starts to peel down. Yep. Wow, did I literally just cut myself? Wow, these blades are sharp. Be careful. Yeah, there's been like a ton of spam lately. It gets really, really bad, and then it gets better, and then it gets really, really bad again. OnlyFans for tinting? No, I'm good. So this one, just a little round on that one. I hope I didn't pull this too far over. It just depends on how tight this is. No, it should be okay. It gets a little snug on this back edge. So my Audi dude with the brake light, he was supposed to come in, but he didn't do that. He was supposed to be here at 10. I wonder if he forgot. I started a TikTok. I think that's probably good enough. I've had a lot of fun with it. I get they're so much easier. See, the thing is, they're so much easier to make, and you can get really like nuance with certain things, and like answer questions that is like basically like a punchline answer. You know how a lot of YouTube videos really just kind of drown on to fill some time when they really just could say whatever they want to say in like 10 seconds. There we go. Cated? Yeah, it's definitely, this is a pre-recorded one for sure. It's not live. Why does this feel backwards to me? It's not, but it seemed like that for a second. Are those new stools for the classes? They are, but I get to keep those. Yeah, I was like, it's funny because when you have one tinter and then all of a sudden you have 6 extra tinters, you have to expand really quickly. Like, you need full setups for everybody. And roller stools is something I've put off for a long time. I wasn't sure, like, okay, so a lot of people go to Harbor Freight and get that red one with like the clay looking wheels or like the hard plastic wheels or something. I wouldn't have expected you to give away the stools. I know. Got asked so much about it yesterday. But yeah, I'm like, all right, well, I have to get something. And no, so many people get like the little circle Harbor Freight one with like the little wheels at the bottom, and like they're okay, but then the wheels get really loose, and yeah, I've never been a huge fan of those. But so I was looking around at some different options, and I wanted ones with like the rollerblade casters. But those were like $100 a stool. And I'm like, I'm buying like, I mean, I bought 5 of them. So these ones were like, these are like $50 to $60. So I bought 5 of these ones instead. I actually think I only need 4 though, because because I'm really dumb. I was gonna order like one for each student, right? And it makes sense to have. And then my wife was like, well, if you're gonna use a blazer, you don't even use a stool for that one. And I'm like, oh, duh. Duh. These ones are really good. I like them. I disagree with their plastic choice for the top, but, you know, they're pretty light. They're okay. Like, for the money, they're fine. They're fine for the money. It's basically what I'd say about them. I wouldn't call it a ceramic stool. It's probably more of a color stable. helps keep the weight down. Yep. So they make it, they're just a little bit lighter to kind of like scoot around and stuff. One concern was like, you know, they have casters that have like a split in the roll. So it's like 2 circles on the outside with a gap in the middle. This is kind of flat on the bottom, so it rolls on this floor about as good as it could. Yes, nano ceramic stool. Well, as far as stool ranges go, I overspent on everybody's toolkits. So they have super ceramic toolkits to take home, but color stable to sit on. That's where I'd grade this. It gets the job done and it'll hold up and it's fine. But it's not like you'd sit on and go, ooh, these are so nice. Let's cross our fingers real hard. That's it. That's how you sell it. We have 3 stool options. A regular stool that is basically garbage. Like, why would you even get this? It's junk. Or we have this amazing stool with all the features. So if you don't want everybody to think that you're poor, you better get these awesome stools with Apple Mac Pro caster wheels on them. Okay. Ugh. Need somebody to pull on this glass for me. A trick or just a helpful thing, when you're doing frameless, I would forget to do this sometimes. I'd like struggle to try and drop these in against the seal. Well, when the door is open, this window kind of like falls this way a little bit more. So when you're trying to tuck it in, it does help to press it back that way. Free up a little bit of pressure on that seal so you can have a better shot of getting the window into place. I should flip this to the other side. People are asking me about the hybrid and they can tell the difference from one side, and then I'd say I can't feel a difference. For whatever reason, on this side, on this brand new blade, I don't know. It just, sometimes it seems to be a little bit grippy right now. I'm gonna flip it around. Wait, what? The waffle guy would hold the window. You know, I really need a second set of hands here for certain things. It would help out a lot. So have you guys seen that like Steck film for the windshield, like the paint protection film? That's a 2-person job to make that easy. Just like the part where you just put it on the windshield. That's a 2-person job. You need a second set of hands literally just to carry it to the other side and then help drop it. Doing that by yourself, I don't know. Seems like you're just in for some problems. No, maybe this is the same. I live in a tent above the bathroom. Oh, no joke. Actually, I got a better spot for you. Okay, you guys can't really see it with this big old overhang, but there's actually like a whole upstairs area there that's from here to here, all the way back to the wall, that you could use for like storage and stuff. You can live up there instead. I don't go up there because the thing blocks it. I need like a 10-foot ladder that goes up there. I only have like a 6-foot. So I could take the scaffolding over there, but it gets in the way. It was a little scary because like when I went up there to like just see what was up there, for a while, like, you know, I didn't have the scaffolding and I just had a 10-foot ladder. So I poked my head up and there was like a praying station up there. Like a little, yeah, there was like, trying to think of, I think I ended up throwing everything out that was up there. But there was like a little praying station all set up there, and I was like, oh. But it was all dark and like kind of creepy up there. So I'm like, okay. Ding. This looks good. This has water spots on it, actually. Like a lot of water spots on the outside. That's not super fun. You see them, especially with the tint. I'm so excited. I ordered a keg I got from Sun Distributing. Nice! Oh, you're going to love it. That's super cool. It's a big purchase, but you're going to use it on everything. You'll love it. Have you ever watched Tint Pro? He uses a magnet on the outside of the windshield, adds the others on the inside, hold the film until it's mostly in place. Pretty neat. I did see that on, what was that? It was a Model 3. No, Model Y? Model 3? I think it was a Model 3. On a different channel. It was the one that Alligator did. That was the first time I saw it. That's a really interesting idea, yeah. With like this, oh God. See, having a second set of hands for that kind of stuff is super helpful too. But it's nice to know that you can figure it out with magnets. Like, there's always a way to do it. I was interested in like the Steck film, the windshield paint protection film. But just one person here, doing it on a car, I could probably handle it okay. But when you're trying to put it over like a really wide truck or something, you peel like the whole thing, and then like you clean the windshield, peel the whole piece of film, and then you put it on the windshield. And so if I have one corner here and then somebody else, and then you just set it on, it's all nice and clean, right? By myself, I don't think that's gonna happen. That's what I would love to figure out. Do you think you ever start wrapping cars? No. No. It's an interesting thing. I think it's super cool. But it's definitely like its own unique skill. So the most I would ever do is have somebody here that specializes in it. I think it's healthy to know lots of different skills, and then you always have an opportunity to make a little more money in something different. But I don't want to be, I've never wanted to be like a jack of all trades. I never thought it was smart to be able to do everything, because like everything takes time. So where it really makes sense as a company is to have other people all doing those things at the same time. And then saves you time and you make more money. Ammonia-free glass cleaner? Yes, make sure it's ammonia-free glass cleaner. Hardest part for me is holding a 40-inch roll, putting it across the windshield and cut it out. Yes, that is a tricky part of it for sure. Because, like, I think somebody asked me, how do I hold a heavy roll of film? I support it from the bottom. With Pro Nano and Pro Classic, those films, they have like a little bit of static. So like, I'm really not gripping it very hard right now, and it's fine. You let it go, let it go. Like I'm almost letting it go, and it's still holding together. Like there's a little bit of natural static to this, and it all stays together great. Some films, like C2, that'll just try and telescope out. Much harder to do that. So it's part just being very familiar with the film and part the film. Why am I not double cutting? It's frameless. Sometimes on frameless, I like to just individually cut them. It's mostly exposed edges, so you can still get a similar, like, it just depends on how matched the doors are from one side to the other, because they're, even with, like, front windows from one side to the other, like, they're very similar, but there can be small differences depending on the car. This one would probably be fine. But, like, you know, I've had it on my fair share of, like, Camaros and stuff where I've literally double cut both of them out, put it on the other side, and, like, the trim is in a different spot, so then there's a gap or something. It's just, if I got the time to do it, I like to do them this way. Oh, God, it's really not moving on that side. That's weird. There we go. What angle and how much blade do you put out? So it really just depends on where I'm at in the blade. I'll usually put like a couple clicks out, so about like that much. And then I'll hold it at more of like a straight edge and slightly tilted down. And then just try and hold that angle clean across as best I can. I'll put out more and more blade if it starts to snag a little bit, because then you're going to a new spot. Like on that, or I'll switch to the other side. Sometimes, like, you use a blade too much, you start to dull it out, especially in different spots, and you just have to change your blade out. Please show how to snap the blade. It never works for me. Oh, it's a super straightforward thing. I'll show you. You gotta go opposite of the notch side. How do you clean the snap blades off of the floor? Oh, you're supposed to clean those? I'm terrible with that. It's been a long time, terrible habit. I just snap blades on the floor. I, for the most part, always have. And this floor, it falls in between the floor. They get cleaned when I clean underneath the floor eventually. So they won't get picked up for a long time. But it's nice because they fall in between, so I don't really have to worry about it. Okay, so if you're, I mean, I don't have to quite do it right now. Magnetic sweeper. Yeah, but then I gotta go over the, with like a big, strong magnet. It would help, but. Okay, so snapping a blade. all you're gonna snap is literally like you'll either do it from here, or if you're just snapping one off, you'll snap it from here. So this thing at the bottom with the 2 little notches on it, that is your snapper. And then, so you put it right there, and you see those notches in that blade? You go this way. So there's no notches on this side, it's notched on this side, and then you go ding, and then it just snaps right off. Don't lose your snapper. Wrap makes less money too. You have to love it. Really? I think it just depends. I think there's like high-end wrap shops and not. You know, there's places that charge $100 for a tint job too and say they can't charge more than that. So I don't know. I think it just varies. But see, the thing about vinyl wrapping though is it's also a much bigger commitment for most things. And that is like, tint is one of those things that everybody can put on their car. Vinyl wrapping is one of those things that like less people will put on their car, and it's typically a little bit of a bigger commitment. I mean, you can do hoods and roofs and stuff like that. So it just kind of changes up your customer base, but you can definitely have like really, why am I taking this back over there? You can have really good high-end wrap shops from what I hear. Every time I do that, it only breaks half the blade. Well, what blades are you using? Did you get some craptastic blades off of Amazon? Or are you using like NT or Olfas? Harley Foshio? Yeah. I use Olfa. Interesting. I haven't used Olfa in a while, but I never had them not snap right. I don't know. It sounds like you're not doing it on the notch side. It's hard to say for sure, but that's like, there's no magic there. It's really just, you put the blade out and it snaps off. So, I don't know. Show a video. Post a video in the Facebook group. Because I've had like crappy blades and they don't snap well at all. But I wouldn't cheap out on blades. But if you're using genuine Olfa blades, then it's a little tough to say. Have you ever done clear tint all around? I don't see the point. But I got what you did there. We got some dad tint jokes in the chat. I get them from Sun Distributing. Huh. I don't know. That is We had something like that yesterday, where it's just like, I'd honestly have to see it. I have no idea why they're not snapping. Matt's bottom loading. Yeah, this is a frameless window. I do frameless like this, I always have. I just don't pull seals. So it's like, as far as I knew, this is just how to install frameless windows. This makes the most amount of sense. Two-staging a frameless window is just a giant pain for me to try and do. There's this small bit. It's window tint stuff on Facebook. Yeah, this is not a new thing. This is just installing tint. If you go back to any frameless car that I've ever done, it's this way. And it always has been this way. Welcome to a different dimension. Where you're going to go back and go, no, he didn't. And then he goes to like a Camaro bottom load. Goes to something else bottom load. What? What world am I in? But seriously, that's... I remember used to two-stage. Find me one example where I ever two-staged a frameless window. I never did frameless. Find me a video. You did a Challenger two-stage. Is that the first one I ever did? I'll look it up. Find me the title and everything. That's weird. What a weird dude. Why would you two-stage a Challenger window? That sounds more difficult. No, what really weirded me out is, like, that's how I always did them. And then the guy that helped teach me originally, he saw me doing that on a frameless door, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, just doing it the way that you showed me. And he's like, that's not how I do them. I was like, what? I thought that's how you do them. That's how I was, what? What happened? Oh yeah. Looking good. And you know what? I got two stools, so I don't even have to carry it around the car. Where's my other stool? Oh, God. Oh, it's right here. Oh, I got to cut these ones out, too. Damn it. I should have double cut. I hate that. That's why I like double cutting so much. It saves so much extra time. How much do you charge per window? I don't know. I don't charge per window. I charge per vehicle. So like front doors are 100, so I guess you could say 50, but then the pricing changes based on a full car, so just depends on what you want to get. Charges 40 per window until you get to the back window, and then that doesn't make sense because somebody will come in and want a back window, and then you charge them 40 bucks. Ew. Ew. feel like it's easier to double cut? It definitely saves time, yeah. Yeah, double cutting isn't hard. It's just like I said, frameless. So sometimes actually most times I do frameless right now. I just individually cut them. I just forgot on this side, so I came over to install patterns, and I'm like, oh, I still gotta cut. Dang. What is the best way to do small windows in the back? Clean? I don't know. It's a pretty broad question. Squeegee, clean them, spray, peel the whole thing, and install it. We'll get to it, though. We gotta tint all the windows, except the windshield. The water always dries. Yes. What sprayer tip do you recommend? I got both. It's personal preference. I still have the fan tips on. I think there's times when a cone tip is super handy to use. But in this case, I mean, you can, like 99% of the time, a fan tip is great. There's a few times where a cone tip is really helpful for that adjustment. But it really is personal preference. So I was using cone tips forever. I've had the fan tips on here for a while, and I haven't switched them off. So I like both. I think it's helpful to have both, just in case. But thanks for the tip with Tint Zoom pre-cut. They were pretty good. Oh, that's awesome. That was quick. You already got them and installed them and everything? Dang. Fast. That was only a couple streams ago, right? I think I'm gonna do this corner on the car. And then we gotta finish this guy right here. I like these carbon ones. See? Snap. It happens very, very often. See that little sliver? That's why I really like these blades. These little blades, they just catch the tint, in my opinion, a little bit faster, a little bit easier. Just be careful on cutting directly on glass. Don't do it. So this will be fun. This is a hatch. Oh. There we go. This is always kind of annoying. This is like a very Audi VW thingy to do. Make the glass this big and make the paneling come in this far. But still, it's not a hard window to tint. I like that it's a hatch. I like it that it's a sedan hatch. Like, that's super cool because that makes my life a little bit easier and everything. Haven't got, so frustrating, so I haven't got it right. My charger windows are out of practice film. I pick up things fast when I watch people do it, but tinting is a whole nother animal. Yeah, and you're doing it on a charger. A charger is not going to be a super easy back window to learn on. So you're starting on a window that actually people that have been tinting for like, I don't know, a year or two look at and go, oh, shit, I got a charger to do. Like, it catches people by surprise. They're like not bad, but they're not easy to learn on, for sure. I'm very mechanically inclined, but I can't get this tinting. Yeah, tinting is very different. And that's where a lot of people actually, I think, like bottom loading better than the way I do it, because the mechanical part of it is taking the seals out and taking the door panels out, and that makes the doors way easier than to drop the tint in. All right, what are we doing for TikTok? Is that the question we're gonna ask? So I had 4 shades of 20%. I'm gonna have to show the video again. 4 shades of 20%. Oh yeah, we did do a charger yesterday. Yep. Wasting basically more than it costs to pay to get the car tinted on practice film. Yep. Sounds about right. I mean, the silver lining is if you literally learn how to tint a charger, you can tint far more regular cars because like this car, for example, like this is frameless, but this is going to be easier as a whole than your charger is going to be. It all comes down to the curve in the window, the tightness of the seals, and like the size of the glass. Ooh. Ooh, this is So, oh yeah, that's a TikTok idea. I have that one on a list. I think it's fantastic. Ammonia glass cleaner on window tint. I think that would be a great one. I gotta figure out how to frame it because it's a long-term thing. Like if you use ammonia glass cleaner on tint, it's not like a one-time thing and it'll ruin the tint. It's like over time. So I just gotta have something good in mind before I get too far into it. I like that idea a lot, though. I really like the one I'm gonna put out today once I figure out how I want to say it. See, I think the question I'm just gonna ask though is ceramic film darker than regular tint? But I was wondering if there was a better way that I can say it. Something that's a little bit more like a different angle, different twist. Something that's like a little bit more attention grabby than that. So for example, on my other video that I did with the different shades on the glass, instead of saying just right into glass isn't 100% clear, I went super strong into like the legality of it. So I said your tint may be illegal and not even know it. And that's like, whoa, wait, why? Why would it be illegal? And then it, like, I had blah, blah, blah % on my glass, and it's like, well, it might actually be darker than that. And then I had a bunch of TikTokers say, I know, and I don't care. It was amazing. Comments were so good. I'm gonna show the video again. Tiny light gap. I'll have to read back the conversation. Oh no. Oh, did I fuck up? Oh no, I did fuck up. Oh god. Oh, I'm so dumb. Damn it. There's 2 teeny tiny spots of glue because I put the samples on this piece of glass. Shit. Oh, that's so good too. Damn it. Oh, I gotta redo this window. What a bummer. That's upsetting. Look at how close that gets. Alright, well, it is what it is. I should have cleaned this slightly better. No! What a bummer. So now we have a 36. Do we have a short roll of 5 Pro Nano? I don't think so. Pro Nano 50. No, I don't have Pro Nano 5 short. Of course I don't. Of course I don't. Damn it. Oh well. It's my bad. So if you guys ever want to see me be like a total noob with handling film, give me a roll of C2 and have me unroll it like the other way. You notice I unroll 99% of things on driver's side. Doing it on the passenger side. Doing it on the driver's side for me is like super awkward. It's just when you get used to doing things a certain way and then you flip it, you have to like practice both ways really. Like you'll carry film one way in the car and then you'll flip it the other way. And if I try and pull in a back window from the passenger's or from the driver's side, it's super awkward for me. That's why I always do it from the passenger side. I always stick with like the same motions until you get really, really comfortable. because going back and forth is going to screw you up a lot. Or at least that's what it did with me. Oh, God. My cuts aren't perfect. Sometimes things can slide around too and not even know it. So you cut one side, tack it down to the glass. It can still potentially shift. So when you cut another thing, it might have shifted while you were cutting it and you didn't even realize it. This happened to me especially with top edges, but there's lots of subtle things. There's lots of subtle things with window tinting that you don't really catch until you start to do it yourself. I mean, all this is like, what? You spray the window, you put the film on. It's like, yeah, that's true, but getting used to carrying the film, cutting it and all that, and tacking it in particular spots, and getting a feel for like when it starts shifting away and doing weird stuff, like, that's all just muscle memory that kind of develops over time. The more you practice, the more you learn, the better you'll be. All right, number 2. Oh, a gap on a back window? Yeah, that's just, you just didn't cut wide enough. Always go at least 1/8 of an inch, if not a little bit wider on your border, and you'll be fine. Glass has a thickness to it too. With back windows, it's a little bit more forgiving because the outside surface area is going to be wider than the inside surface area, which makes it harder to do classic
Supreme
vehicles.
Window Tinting Super Chatted $4.99.
Supreme! Supreme! There we go. What do you think about the C2 Plus? I don't know yet. Supreme, thank you so much for the 5. Really, really appreciate ya. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I haven't tried the Carbon Plus. Is the damn fog on? No, it's not. It's these two. It will be, though. Hang on. Give it about 10 minutes. I always like to keep you guys guessing. Or I forget because I'm busy making videos. Okay. I was trying to be better about it. It's one of those things where I only plug them in for the car, but I mean, I gotta fill up my spray bottle. I gotta make sure I have the right film in place. I gotta set up everything for the stream, including the thumbnail, check in the customer, figure out like when about they're gonna pick it up. Like, there's so many little things. So that's low on the priority list. Just finished the class at Suntech. That was interesting. Oh, that's cool. How was it? Did they only keep you on plotters, or did they let you hand cut? I hope they did. You know, I almost thought one of the questions would be when I was doing the fog is, does the fog ruin your window tint? Which would be quite the interesting thing. The class wasn't worth $1,200, but it was interesting. Ouch. Why? Because, I mean, obviously I'm doing them, but I'm not exactly in California or Florida, so it's kind of less appealing to come out to Michigan. And I can't be everywhere, so if there's other good classes around the country that I can refer, then that is super cool. Like, I hear good things about like the window tinting school down in Florida. All right. Yeah, Tint School in Jacksonville, that one. Do you know what's kind of funny? I'm not going to call anybody out. So I had this guy come in. It's a little sidetrack from classes. I had this guy come in for a windshield strip who liked the channel. And then he went to somewhere else for his car. And it's a they carry GeoShield. And unfortunately did not get a good tint job on his back window. But hopefully they take care of it. But I think they watch this channel too. Okay, so we want to get like absurdly close. That looks good. See, I should have opened up a tint school down in Florida. Maybe one day I will. That'll be like retirement school right there. Because it'd be way more fun to like take a trip to Florida, unless you're already in Florida, than it would be to go to Michigan. I guess unless you live there, though. Wait, so the Suntech class was just watching my videos? Really? Why doesn't he just do videos while he's teaching the class, and then people can watch, like, this is one we did, or actually show people live demos because they're there at the class? That's weird. Don't do that. I mean, it's nice to have lots of different examples, but that's kind of great. Because, I mean, obviously you're not going to have every example, right? So it's healthy to kind of bring up some videos, show some different examples, and then illustrate it on a car. But just as long as you're illustrating it on the car, too, in person. But, yeah, you only have a limited amount of time. Don't spend too much time on YouTube. People are there to learn from you in person. That's why they're there in person. We also learned the snake method, which involves slashing the seal off of a quarter window. What? Suntech, what are you doing to people? That's scary. Don't do that. What quarter window? This sounds weird. What the fuck is this? You gotta be kidding me. Is there really still a thing there? Well, I guess it's good that I cut out too. What the fuck is that? Ah, this turned out so good. What is up here though? It still seems like glue. I cleaned it though. Rear quarter on a 2021 Chrysler 300. Oh, like, did you trim out the inside a little bit though? Was it the inside or was it the outside? I think so. I think it's another redo. Yeah, there was something there. For sure. The inside. Oh, okay. The inside of the 300s, I do the same thing actually. So I wouldn't fault anybody for that. You definitely want it to look clean. So, but on a 300, the rubber comes in front of the glass a little bit. So it actually makes sense to trim those out. I only do that on a handful of cars. Is that common? Is there any? Yeah, there definitely was. There was like a microscopic small little thing of glue. So unfortunately, yes, there was something there. Either that or it was the film, and I don't think it was the film. So there was just something there again. I don't know. I peeled it off, cleaned it, and retinted it, and we're just having a grand old time right now. It's fine. We'll get it. But it's on the driver's door, and especially on a driver's door. You like when it's right here. You're going to walk right up to this car, and you're going to look here so many times. That shit better be clean. So on the grand scale of like, okay, how small was it? It was kind of small, but still the way it was and where it was definitely stood out. I think I learned more from your video. So, the thing is, we have so many more examples on the stream. So, you're going to learn a lot because we're always in different situations, tinting different things. Wow, this is... Rip. We just can't get it today. It was too short. It was too short by like a micro centimeter. I didn't have any room to shift it down, unfortunately. Why? Because I didn't cut it super clean because it's on the driver's side, and like I said, it's awkward. Doing things on the driver's side, I always like doing them on the passenger side a little bit better, but I have a list of complaints. Damn. That's sad to hear. Take it to the other side. That does make sense, but I already cleaned that side, so I'd prefer just to stand on this side and waste film. It makes no sense. Okay, there we go. Nice sizable piece. Let's go get a new blade because we've pretty thoroughly gone through this one. See, you lose that momentum sometimes, and then you just like, you can't even make this shit up anymore. You're just like, I don't know what's going on today. Everything was going so nice. Wasting ceramic hurts. Yeah, especially big pieces, but it's just how it goes sometimes. We'll get it though. I mean, our cuts have been pretty awesome, so that's the good news. So if we can get that one spot cleaned for whatever reason, I don't know what happened. Just random spot just decided to not be clean. Yeah, exactly. That's one reason why I can't really stream. Like, people are paying money to come out here. They're here to learn, and we're going to be doing on-car in-person examples, and we're going to do a lot of them. That's number one. Everything else is secondary. So it's not good to hear. It's especially sad because, like, companies, I always get surprised. Companies with really big amount, like, resources and stuff like that, disappointing people. You're too corporate. Oh, just cut. Just cut. Come on. It's always that getting from the top. Yeah, sorry we're doing them late. A little bit too late. There we go. Nice. Yeah, I put off getting classes together for a while. They are a lot of work, though, too. And the way I look at it is like, the way that I'm making a class is what would I want in a class? Like, what would I be stoked about attending? So, I know they're expensive to go out and be a part of. So actually, a lot of your budget is spent towards going out there. So being able to then take some of that budget and put it towards things that you actually need when you get back home, I think is really, really cool. Where was it? Especially traveling from California. California to where? I forgot that part. Is it like Texas or something? All right. Third time. That's the charm, right? Third time's the charm. Let's not be lazy. Where's my scrub pads? There's one. Let's just scrub pad it. But yeah, especially this area. So just rule of thumb, you want every window to be as clean as possible. But the ones that you especially want to be clean are going to be anything really near the driver. And especially repetition, right? So when somebody walks up to their car, you're driving it, they're going to go to the driver's spot. So driver's window especially needs to be really, really good. And then if you do a windshield, obviously you want that windshield. Everything sitting in front of the driver's line of sight, especially to be super clean. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Yay. Gotta go finish painting my bumper. Have fun. You are very welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Just a little bit. Just want to get that perfect. What do you think? You think we did it? Did we do it? Third time? Looking good.
DW super chatted $5.
DW.
Why do you only use the blue side of the hybrid lol?
We just changed it. DW, thank you. Is the fog machine on? Canon. Canon. Oh. The software wasn't open. Canon. Hey! Oh shit, we're gonna fall. There, that's for both of you. Thank you. Thank you for the 5. Really appreciate that. Well, that was a super big one, so I think that works, right? Why do I get very small air bubbles that don't go away? It's not contamination. I don't see them from the outside, only from the inside when the light reflects off them. Could it be tension? Why do I get small air bubbles that don't go away? Air bubbles you'll always see on the outside. It's hard to tell what exactly you're working at or what you're looking at. But so if I have air bubbles or imperfections, like they're in the form of a crease, a hair, dirt specks, air left behind, you have a black background and all those imperfections are bright white. That's why whatever little glue thing was up here that I just didn't clean off perfectly, that's why it stood out like a sore thumb. And then I tried to touch it up and it smears, so it makes the whole spot worse. Where now, finally, third time, it looks great. Finally, we're good. We can move on. So it's hard to tell from that description exactly what you're looking at, but factory privacy glass, if it's factory privacy glass and then dirt and then tint, you largely won't see any of that. That'll hide some of it, but that's regular dirt specks and stuff. Yeah, I think I'm good. 3 times. 3 times on something that should have been done right the first time. It's never fun. never fun. Now 3 times with the back too. Yeah, no. I sure hope not. Here's that one. Scooch it over just a smidge. Ooh. Couple of tiny hairs at the edge of the windshield. Redid it 3 times. That's no fun. That's no good. Windshields are the worst because there's so much work that goes into it, all for the very end result, and you're like, no fun. And that's where sloppy work gets put out there because people don't want to redo it. There's always going to be something, right? But yeah, that'll that'll drive you crazy going through that over and over again. So I can't even really explain it. I've gotten a lot more comfortable here, but for a little bit, like, I don't know what was going on. I would have an easy job to do, like a front couple doors, and the next thing I know, I'm redoing the door like 3 times. Like this one, right? But like for a set of doors, and then I'd just be like, this doesn't make any sense to me. I'm setting aside time. Everything should be just, I've been doing this for a long time, and you just have those days. Should I redo it? It's my own car. I mean, I can't answer that question for you. I mean, I don't think small, like, you're always gonna have something small. Like, little small things like that on such a big piece of glass, like, they don't matter near as much. And the only person that's really gonna care about it is you, so it's up to you. The other thing is, like, how long are you going to leave that film on there, too? Or you're going to want to change it up with something else as a demo? Like, my personal vehicle, I retint that thing all the time to test out different film or make a video or whatever. So sometimes for the video, like the last one I did with the hairdryer, it's a little sloppy. So I definitely want to redo it. I just ran out of time to do it. Yeah, it's for demo. And most people aren't going to notice. They're gonna like, people get overwhelmed with like a car in general. So like when I tell people my Blazer is 50, 35, and 20, they go like, wow, why does that look darker? It's like, well, the car is a little edgier. Dark accents, angles, and this is the first time you're seeing it. So when it's your own thing, you know the flaws a lot more. They stand out a lot more to you, but somebody else that it's like it's brand new to them, they're just like, whoa, that looks cool. Like, that's what you're going for. You're not going to notice all the little things like that. But the right thing they'll definitely notice on their own car because it's their car. They're used to looking at it. I like lighter interiors because you can get away with a slightly darker shade. That is true. I always feel bad because a lot of people go for like, they're not so much going for the shade that it provides them while they're driving. They're going for like the look of the car. So with the lighter interior, they have to go then darker to get that same look. Oh, we're going 5. We're going dark on this one. went pretty good. It's always nice. Installation. As long as we can get them in place, it's always the most stressful part for me. Cutting, drinking, that's all really straightforward. Getting frameless into place, sometimes it's just, you know, the bottom seal can pinch it, and then it starts to like freeze to the glass. That's what always is a headache for me. But when they slide well, looks good. Looking real good. Oh yeah, yeah, that's nice. Heck yeah. All right, back window. It's back window time. Oh, we should have taken this off. Let's clean this up a little bit. Let's throw away a lot of the scraps. We don't need them. Is it hard to match privacy glass? No, not exactly. You can only do it, like, it's really straightforward. You have the shades that you carry, and you just do whatever comes the closest. So you're not going to be able to do a perfect match because the hue of the film is something you have no control over. And the shades of the film is you have a limited selection. So sometimes, like my 20% carbon is going to look closer to something than a 20% dyed film, or vice versa. But I can only buy dyed carbon and ceramic in 5, 15, 20, and 35, 50, and upwards of like 70, depending on the film. So I have those films to pick from. But the good news is that if you're within an earshot of it, there's no problems there. You might see the difference, but as soon as you pull that outside, there's much less noticeable difference. So as long as the shade is within a couple percentages, you're totally fine in most cases, as long as your film doesn't have a really strong color in an opposite direction. I'm gonna do the quarters, just hand cut them. Same thing for this back window. We're gonna hand cut this whole back window. Just makes the most sense, really. What kind of blades? So I carry a couple different ones. These are ultra thin carbon blades. These will scratch glass, so be careful with them, but they are very sharp, very thin, really good for situations like top edges and trimming fine little slivers off the tint. The safer choice for most of your cutting is going to be stainless steel, and those don't come in an ultra thin version, so not as strong of a metal, which is why it doesn't scratch the glass as much. Still be careful, it can. But I can round corners and stuff on glass, and it's typically perfectly fine. I just like to take the guesswork out of a lot of it, though. Will you have a Carbon Plus membership option? That reminds me, I gotta do names. I have software to cut out vinyl, so we gotta pick a spot and we've gotta start doing some names. We gotta pick a place for them. I so forgot to do that. No, so I have it. You know, I metered the 20%, and it's like 16%. It's a little dark. That's, here, let me show you guys. Canon. do the wet edge pattern again? Yeah, sure, why not?
Is ceramic tint darker than
Canon.
regular tint?
Oh, wait. GoPro. Okay. So this is the video. This is the TikTok I'm going to be posting today. I put 3 different ceramics up here.
Is ceramic tint darker than regular tint?
So clear glass on this Audi, 77%, 16, 16, 17, 14. That last one is carbon plus.
Is ceramic tint darker than regular tint?
Save as draft. I'm going to fill up my coffee too. So I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to be 16%. That's a good one. I think so. Thank you. What I'm not sure on is if I want to change up what I say at the beginning and then put a little bit of text to help carry the video. I think I'm gonna add to it something along the lines of, is ceramic tint darker than regular tint? No, it can be, but the ceramic has nothing to do with it. But there's no mystery about it though. Like there is for people that don't know about tint. So there's all these like little magical things like, ooh, what is ceramic? It sounds special and fancy and stuff. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this waiting room is super cool. Special shout out to my wife for arranging all the coffee stuff very nicely. We actually got regular sugar the other day and extra creamers and stuff. But yeah, this area here, it had super gross carpet. It was really, like, it's just really big. I could definitely put, like, a counter here and do, like, a regular showroomy style front here if I wanted to. But I'm not super crafty. And it kind of just feels like a big living room. So I've just left it this way. We ended up redoing the floors, which I had no idea how to do, but this is like a floating floor, so it all snaps together and you just cut the sides. Don't look at the edges real close, they're real ugly. This black trim helps make everything look way cleaner too, so definitely do that. And then this whole hexagon wall thing, that was inspired by watching live streamers. It's literally just like acoustic panels, and then you just kind of do your own creative thing with lots of colors and stuff. I got a garbage can. Yeah, we're gonna put a garbage can right over there. So, yeah, it looks super good. Way better than it did. It looked terrible for about like a year. Is that a palm tree? It's a. I think we got it from IKEA. It's like a banana leaf tree, but it's definitely fake. Oh, I thought it was gonna have a tag on it. Yeah, it's like a mini palm tree. We got it for like home, and then we didn't want it anymore, so then I put it here. And then this Christmas tree is my favorite. I know we're getting warm weather right now, but it's a snowy Christmas tree. This thing's amazing. I don't want to take this thing down. So, look, it's always snowing. And you can turn this thing like way up and go crazy. See, it's forever snowing. The lights are extra. I should have just got a couple really long strips. I got 2 smaller ones and just plugged them in separately. But those are the GoV RGB lights. Individually controlled RGB lights. So each LED can change to a different color, so then you can get the wave pattern. That's what I've had on here forever, and I just put them up front too. I bought a lot of acoustic panels, so that got a little bit expensive. But in terms of like something to dress up your wall that's not hard to do, that was really cool. I thought the lights were nano leaf. Oh, those would have been ridiculously expensive. You get like six to 8 panels for like $200. I'd have to buy like probably like 5 or 6 kits to get a similar effect. Oh yeah, we were gonna do like a wet H pattern, right? So I'll do it on the other side. What I can tell you is, like, as long as your dryer sheet makes the film kind of like tack down, so that's one reason I use the ones that I do, then you don't need to do a wet line on it. It just helps sometimes. So if you have older glass that have some like dirty overspray on it, your film's not going to adhere super great when you shrink it. So the reason for dryer sheets or dry shrink prep or something, or like a soap bar, something in between the film and the glass, is because dry shrinking is the fastest way to shrink a back window. And so everything moves really quick. So you want it to kind of float. Like all this material, see how it's loose and sitting up on the window? But when you are shrinking it and you tack some of it down and smooth it out, you want it to just kind of like stay down. Because if you don't have a material here, what's going to happen is then air's going to shoot back up there and it's going to be all weird and distorted and stuff. So I actually should probably do an example sometime of just putting the like half dryer sheet and half nothing. So like you're gonna see, we just put a wet line there. It's really not gonna do anything to make this look different. All that wet line does is hold the film a little bit firmer in place, so it's not going to shift around on you. But with the right material, you don't really have to worry about that anyways. It's just, I'll use it as an extra anchor, especially on like older glass that hasn't been cleaned very well. Something with like lots of overspray. Sometimes windows can be so dirty you actually have to scrape the outside with a razor blade because the car got painted at some point and they didn't cover anything up. So this one doesn't have the same types of top corners as the Charger does. So we didn't really have to sweep anything out on the side. It's just a nice shrinking film. It smooths out real easy. I swear it looks like the easiest thing. So, yeah, I get that. Confidence has a lot to do with it. So like just knowing what you're doing will make it look a lot easier. And putting more heat on it. So confidence will let you put a little bit more heat on the film. What I often see new people do is they put a little bit of heat, they back off. A little bit of heat, back off. A little bit of heat. So you're not really giving the film much time to do anything, or then when it starts to, it moves too fast. So really you just need to go into it with a little bit of confidence and just start moving that heat gun back and forth and being a little bit closer and more direct with it, and then you'll start seeing good results. You might screw up some film, but this is where I preach you don't have to use expensive film when you're practicing, because you don't want to be afraid to ruin that film. You need to set aside some budget for some film and go, on this window, I don't care if this looks like absolute crap. I'm just going to go and try and shrink it as fast and best as I can, and honestly just power through all the creases that you're causing, and then you'll start to see some areas laying smooth, and you'll adjust really, really quickly. But the more you baby it, the longer it's going to take, because if you never mess up, I definitely wasn't afraid of too much heat because I crisped it up in spots. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Then keep it moving. Letting a spot get too hot is the other side of it. So keep that heat gun direct. Don't be afraid to burn it, and then just keep that heat gun moving. A lot of that shrinking happens kind of like after the heat gets there. You can look at it like a little arc. So there's like this, the heat gets close to the glass, it warms it up, and then right at the peak is like when you pull that heat away from it, and then that film is then cooling back down, but during this part, it's still hot enough to shrink a little bit. So sometimes you can actually over shrink it. So put some heat on it and keep that heat moving, and then look at where you just had that heat, and you'll see that film still start to shrink a little bit more. So I just pulled the film back to take away the glass aid. So like re-shrinking it, just keep that heat moving, and then anywhere that heat touches, it'll continue to shrink down just a little bit more. Not a lot, but a little bit more. So heating up, and then it's still shrinking just a little bit. But, dang. Do we say we're hand cutting quarter windows? I hope I didn't just screw up that film. Let's see. I think most of it's good. Film can take a spill, but wherever it impacts, it'll usually crunch up a little bit from the impact. Is it possible to shrink a back window with Lexan? Yeah, for sure. It's just harder. It just takes more time. When I pick up the film, it didn't fall very far, and I got out of its way. It also was just a strip, and it wasn't like door patterns. Whenever I've let door patterns fall off the car and hit the ground, that's no good. I swear, it's always dead. I struggled so much when shrinking, I realized that what I was doing when I lift up the film like that, it looks like it was way more crinkly than yours. Oh, is it overshrunk? When I lift up the film, it looks way more crinkly than that. Is it overshrunk? I see. I don't know. That TikTok became a ceramic. Oh yeah, you dropped your ceramic, that's true. Maybe it's the camera. This camera will smooth out some things. So maybe it's just how it looks on camera right now, I don't know. So I haven't done this before, but I thought it might be a nice idea on this one because there can be dirt that kind of settles in the like rough plastic here. So just kind of giving it a chance to, like, new seal. So that's all I'm doing here. And it's not even really a seal. It's just part of... Oh, they stopped by. Oh my god. That doesn't happen. Hang on, I gotta go say hello. How much is considering underpricing for Tint? Depends on your area, but $100 is pretty cheap. Walk-ins, yeah. My wife and son looking to get a Tint appointment right now. Canon. I'll be back. You want a squeegee? So this is my son. This is Lucas. He is an aspiring window tinter. I'm just kidding, he's not. He likes running around, pooping, and eating snacks, and also watching TV. But yeah, they stopped by. Yeah, it's little me. You want to say hello? Yeah. So he'll want to get down and run around. Yeah, he's fun. He's about 16 months now. Aren't you? Okay, I'll put him back up front. I'll be right back. I have a feeling he's going to be a good tinter. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he wants to tape. We'll see if he wants to go that route. Pro tinter by 5 GoPro. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh. Ooh.
Swallogang super chatted $4.99.
Swole
I have
gang.
an opportunity to get a 1,000
Thank
square
you.
feet shop for 1K lease. I'm barely starting, but I hate tinting outside, but still slow business.
Thank you. Oh, dang. That's a tough one. I have an opportunity to get a 1,000 square foot shop for $1,000. I'm barely starting, but I hate tinting outside. Still, business is slow. Woo! So, I can't tell you to take that leap. But I can tell you on the other side of it, it tends to be less scary. Especially if you watch, like, you can spend a lot of money on a shop really quick. But, I mean, I'm on the side of encouraging people to go for it now. Okay. Yep. You miss one, what is it? risk it to get the biscuit. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. I agree with those. To be honest, what you spend in mobile and what you lose in opportunity can add up to be quite a bit too. So like, the best thing that I always heard is that you can generally go back to where you were. So if you were working at a place and then you quit to go take another opportunity, you usually can get your old job back. For mobile, I mean, the worst thing that happens is you cancel the lease or something and then you lose like a security deposit. Right? $1,000 for a 1,000 square foot shop, that's not bad. Spaces are really hard to come by, or at least can be really hard to come by. So this place I was looking for about $1,000 a month. This place was $2,400 a month and way bigger than I wanted to take on. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, 2,400 square feet, it's an extra $1,000 a month. I was super nervous doing it, but I'm super happy that I took it on because it's just, now you finally have your own space. You get to make the rules on everything. And you have the space to accommodate more stuff. And you don't have to worry about mobile. I think you'll get more business being in a shop than, especially earlier on, than mobile, honestly. Yeah, you can't drive to people, but there's so many people that don't have good spots for you to tint, so it's really frustrating. So I think it's worth it to do it. Don't let me make that decision for you, though, but it's honestly not as scary as what it is on the other side of the shop, or as on the other side of it. No, tape on the other side, thank you. Yeah, a lot of people saying it's worth the risk. I think there's a lot of, like, you look at people that own businesses and you're like, how does this idiot have a shop and I don't? And it's, well, he was too dumb to see the bad side of taking that risk and he just did it. And if it worked out for those people and you really care, I think you'll make it work. There we go. Yay! That went pretty good. You need tape that sticks better. I can afford it and live at home. Just feel like it seems big, but I found actually brand new. Oh, shit. Actually brand new being built. That's why I can get it. It's not on the market. Do it. 100% do it. Sorry, before I was being cautious about what to tell you. If you can afford it, then just do it. You'll do so much better having that space. I see what a lot of mobile guys have to go through. And they're always concerned with like getting into the shop and taking on that overhead, but you lose out on opportunity, and there is cost in the time it takes to set things up and the limit on the work that you can do. When you have your own place, you could take on way too much work, tell people that it'll just be done later, and just stay there all night tinting if you wanted to. But like when you're tinting at other people's houses and stuff, like there's limits to all of that. And it gets annoying setting up your stuff. And like, you know, I was in an Explorer doing mobile, and I basically carried standard and a ceramic film. More often than not, the shops just sold my standard film. And I was really conscious about how much stuff I could take with me. And now I can just have as much stuff here to help the job go faster and better that I want. And it's always the environment that I want. You'll just be tickled though when you get your first car. I mean, you might be nervous too, but you also be tickled when you get to like open the door to like your own shop and you're like, wow, I actually have space to like pull in a car now and like put my stuff down and I don't have to like take it with me. Oh, you can't beat it. But yeah, if you can afford it, do it. It's like, the scary part is like, okay, I'm not making that money and I'm taking a leap into a shop, crossing my fingers that I'll find business on the other side. In that case, I suggest trying to build up some sort of a client base first and then taking that leap so you at least know you already have people calling and then you can accommodate them better. But having that monthly, it becomes so insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Because it's like, okay, how many cars do I have to do a day in order to pay that? Well, it's definitely going to be more than what you think, but I mean, it's setting up to run your own business and do what you like to do on your own terms. And as long as you can support doing that, then it becomes like, then it's not a job as much anymore. It's just like, oh, shoot. Now whatever I do is like to improve my own quality of life here. So when you get something for your shop, it's like, that's your shop. It's your business. 8 cars a month and you're covered. Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. $1,000 a month is not bad for a lease. If you're going into a space that's like $5,000-$6,000 a month, yeah, that's way more scary. There's spaces around here that I could have taken on that would have been that, but I like mine. How many cars do you do a week? Depends on the week. There's some that have been super light. The way I had it set up last summer is I really like to do 2 cars a day. And that was more than enough to cover everything and support home and everything. I'm booked up for Saturday, yeah. I'm actually booked up for the next couple Saturdays. So I'm starting to trade off some stuff right now. So I know you guys see like, hey, it looks like you're only doing 1 car. There's some days where I've been booking up a little extra work now that it's gotten busier. So some streaming days I'm not streaming, I'm just doing work. And then some days I'm setting aside for streaming. And in that case, I like to, for the stream, I actually like to only have 1 car in a day. So that way I'm not rushing things. Because it really starts to put a lot of pressure on things. Especially when things start to go wrong, and then I feel like I'm just getting out a car just to make up for the extra one. And if you limit yourself too a little bit, you have more time to spend with your clients that walk in the door. So then it's like, oh, no big deal. You got here for an appointment. Let's talk about your car. Let's talk about the film that you want to get and what you're thinking about. You know, that much doesn't even take a lot of time, but then you can actually it's not just like, okay, what do you want, 20%? Okay, cool, I'll get it in, it'll be a couple hours, blah, 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 and then see ya. You can actually just take a breath. Things are so much better. Ah, no. Canon. Do you listen to music while tinting off camera? Yeah, I'll either play YouTube videos, so like podcast style stuff, or I'll play music. Put on Taylor Swift radio or something. I have like a liked playlist with a bunch of weird music. Like, I don't know, it changes. I'll find different things and then go down that rabbit hole for like a little while. Link. Do you like T-Swizzle? Who doesn't? Okay, let's put this back on. Who doesn't like T-Swizzle? There we go. All right, let's look at this. Nope, all good there. Oh shit, is this going on? Yep, it'll be fine on this side. Cool, so we got quarter windows left. That back window turned out awesome. Doors looking good. Back window, nothing on the windshield. Like, sweet. My wife brought in some sushi, which is just so cool. I'm excited. I usually just starve myself while I'm at the shop, and then I eat when I get home. So this place used to smell really terrible, and like from the neighbors next door, being a hookah distributor, it was always like the smell that you couldn't shake. And it actually, like, because she was pregnant at the time, made her nauseous to, like, come here. She's pretty sensitive to smells. So now that it's actually clean again, it's like, oh my God. It was so frustrating. It was so frustrating that I signed a lease on this place, and then there's a hookah distributor next door, and then it's like one of those things where it's like, I can't do anything about it. And then you hear stories of other people. Like, you always find there's very rarely everything is perfect with the space that you're in, and your landlord is like an amazing person that has your back and tries to make your experience in his building amazing, right? They just don't want to hear from you. They want you to rent the space. They don't want to hear from you. That's what a landlord, that's what they do. So, like, I think, fuck. Where'd you go? You quarter, you. Come back here. It's just like, swoosh. We'll spray it off. I'm sure it'll be fine. I was going to take the Class 8 and shrink it off. We'll give it an inspection. I think it's fine. But everybody that I've talked to that is in their space, that I know around here, all have had some problem with a landlord or a space that they've moved into or something. Something like that. There's always something that's just like, ugh. So for like Rick's tint shop, they had like a leaky roof for quite a long time. And then they had somebody fix it, and then they had to bring them back out like, I don't know, all summer to refix the roof like 100 times. So they come in on a rainy day, and then like their plotter was almost destroyed from a leaky roof. And, you know, they have like film boxes and stuff. That's all really terrible to get wet. It just slipped out of my hand. I don't know what it is. Ooh, this paneling's tight here. But this place, I just couldn't believe it when I walked in here. I'm like, it is quiet. There's like epoxy on the floors. The front room looked like garbage, but like I had a whole bunch of space to play around with. So the showroom was a big undertaking. And then when I settled in here, it's like, oh, that smell is still there. I thought it was so like they painted or something, because they redid like the furnace. Nope. Turned out to be the neighbors. Strong smells will seep through the walls. And so I was just, well, that'll always be that way for as long as I'm here, because what are the odds that they're going to actually move out when I'm here? Probably never. And then sure enough, they moved out. I have no idea what business is coming in next door, though. Oh, come on. Here we go. Those quarters don't have to come out super clean. Yes, they do. They have to, because you'll still see speckles and stuff. So seeing out of them, one thing. But when you go to clean up your car and you notice a lot of speckles here, that's a problem. Tell your dad to move next door. Nah. I actually have the biggest space in this whole unit. He's in a 6,000 square foot building. Their overhead is ridiculous. So like rent at the time that he moved in there was about $5,500 a month, which for the space he kept saying was great. And turns out, yeah, it was great. But when you open up a brand new shop, that's a lot. And so total overhead with expenses and stuff every week was in the range of, like when we were after like a year, I think it was about 12 grand a week was like his kind of break even. Made a little bit of money off of that. He's got to move a lot of volume every week to pay for all that. How many cars do you typically do in a day? Oh, we were just talking about it. I'll take on about a couple cars right now. But there's a lot more like the prices that I have here are much better now, so I get to focus on individual cars rather than volume. So I could take on more if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to, so I don't. I really like trying to set up for an easygoing work day. I enjoy it so much more. I've been there. I've been tinting for a lot of different shops. It's all about volume. It's all about numbers. Just keep things moving. And then when you make a mistake, you got to make up for it really, really quickly. How many does he do? It depends on the day. They'll typically do, I don't know, 10 to 15 cars maybe on a Saturday. And then through the week, it just, they want to do that every day, but sometimes they're just not that busy. So with that kind of volume, you have a small team of people. Somebody's running the plotter, somebody's pulling cars in and out, prepping things. It's a team effort. And it gets exhausting. So yeah, depends on what type of shop that you really want to be. I don't think there's any problem in being a high volume shop. I think you can make a lot of money that way. it really makes sense when you get to charge more too. So they've built up their pricing over time too. It used to be really, really cheap, like 160, I think, for like a 4-door car. And then slowly they would increase pricing, but they didn't increase pricing until way later. That was an experience for sure. I don't like tinting like that. I mean, it's when you like, there was a time that I kind of enjoyed it, because like when you're working hard and making a lot of money doing it and things are going pretty well, like, it's great. But eventually you want to slow down. What's your revenue from YouTube? It varies. I think this month I haven't done, I haven't focused on putting out good videos on YouTube, so it's declined. Probably about 2,500 this month on YouTube. Where is my, just one up, there it is. I had a killer month in November. November was nuts. When I put out a handful of videos and then I got one of them to do really well, that month was $8,000, but that's YouTube. Like, if you're getting lots of views, you're making lots of money. If you're not getting lots of views, you're not making anything. So it truly can be a very nice passive income, but if you're going off of ad revenue, it's a guessing game. It's like you're trying to figure out what is going to hit well, and so it's almost gambling, and there's too much of it that's dependent on the platform. I don't suggest it. I don't suggest putting all your eggs in the social media basket. This goes for like TikTok and everything. Like, viewers and all that, like, that's good fun, and it can make a really fun work environment and stuff. Do you make revenue off live streams? Not much. So I get money from super chats, which some of them have been crazy, and like a good chunk of money for sure. On average, lately, maybe like 10, no, maybe like 20 to 30 bucks for like a live stream, sometimes 40 or 50. And then YouTube takes 30% of that total, unfortunately, but that's just like, I could route it a different way, but the way super chats happen is they're more fun. So I don't have like a direct other thing. I do little live streams, like, so live streaming on your channel is a fun addition to what you do. But when it's all you do and you don't do it a ton, it doesn't do very well. So like a lot of the live streams have a couple thousand views. It's more for a really dedicated, focused audience. But yeah, I super enjoy doing this. So what makes the most money is my online store. That's been a really, really big booster. That helps, honestly, make all this really worth it. Speaking
Jose
of super
78
chats.
Rios super chatted
Jose.
$9.99. What's up? How you doing today? I keep missing your live stream. Good to watch your videos. Always learn something from you.
Jose with the 10. Dang, buddy. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's good to have you, though. Yeah, things have been good. I got sushi waiting up front. I'm so fancy. It's from Kroger, though. Kroger actually has pretty decent sushi. We've been There was a place out by where we lived that had amazing sushi, and we still go out there from time to time because they've been honestly the best. But we searched around here, and we found a place that's got pretty damn good sushi, very consistent, just not quite as good as the place where we used to live. Always learn something from you. Glad to hear it. What is up with this one? It's out in West Bloomfield. It's called New Yatsuba. It's the ramen and the sushi there. I just, it's the best. Everything that we've had there has just been like so good in comparison to like a lot of other sushi places. And it's not like other sushi places are bad. It's just like when you have them, they're like, ooh, it's so good. There we go. Yeah, big fan of New Yatsuba, but they're out in West Bloomfield. So they're not too far. They're like about a 30-minute drive, 30 to like 40-minute drive to go out to. And then they unfortunately had like a big water leak or something, so they've had only carry out for a while they were rebuilding the whole inside. So run out there to pick up sushi. It's still very worth it. Probably eat it. We've eaten it in the car though, because it's like, oh, it's fresh. Let's go. Have you thought about taking balloons across the border? What? What's that? Balloons across the border. I've learned a lot from you since it started. Oh, glad to hear it. Yeah, so like my YouTube channel really got stressful. Like making videos is fun, but coming up with like ideas can be hard, and putting out videos of like how to tint, they just don't do that well. They're for a very targeted audience. So what I will say for anybody that's thinking about doing YouTube, thinking about doing other social media platforms, it's really powerful when you have a business, whether that be an online business or a shop, brick and mortar, like any type of business. If you build a social media thing around your business, it'll do wonders to help out your business. But if you're going into social media thinking you're going to make a bunch of money off of the ad revenue from that platform, that is, for a lot of really big creators, typically a very small portion of their overall income. There's only a handful of anomaly channels that really can do a ton off of ad revenue and do it consistently and keep doing it, and that's how they structure their business. So, it's a fun thing to talk about, though. I just got my Avery Dennison pouch in the mail. Man, I can see why you like it. Isn't it the best? Dude, it just, it's so much better than those other crappy tool belts, like the Ergodyne ones. Those are the ones that I'm thinking of when I say that. It's like those things are just not super friendly. Things get stuck in them. They're annoying. Rick handed me a Avery Dennison belt, and he's like, I think these are really good. And I'm like, oh my God. And this one that I'm using, I've been using it for probably about 5 years or so. Might have been, I don't know. That sounds about right. I don't know if it is exact, but for a very long time. I finally got a new one that I still have yet to set up. The only thing that is damaged on this one is the buckle. So like this is the buckle, and it's cracked here. So where this connects, it's loose. So sometimes it just comes undone. But this is what my Avery belt looks like right now. So this metal plate, this is for magnet squeegees, and then a couple of big pockets. And dude, these belts are amazing. Brand new. This is what they look like brand new. Oh, super clean. They got nice big pockets. They have everything that you could, like just enough pockets for everything that you need and a couple more. And you don't need to carry, you don't need to carry a lot in your tool belt. How much better is Geo from Avery? If you're talking about their entry, they're very comparable. I actually give the win to Avery because if I ever have to do a removal, Avery is made to peel clean off the glass. So when I had a mistake or something, doing a redo for Avery was like, oh, yeah, no problem, bring it in. Falls off the glass. Great, perfect. Redoing Pro Classic or any of the other GeoShield films, actually like C2 pulls off easier, is just an utter pain because it leaves all the glue behind. But in terms of shrinking, color, everything, I think maybe I like the color of the Pro Classic a little bit better, but they're both really, really good-looking films, very workable. I'd trust both of them. Up from there is where they start to change a lot. C2, much better carbon film. The Avery NR Pro has a couple little issues with it. Mainly the little bit of haze. So it's a dyed carbon hybrid. So it's just not as good of a hybrid or not as good as a carbon film because they offset some of the carbon with dye, and dye doesn't block out IR. So Geo uses only carbon in their carbon film. Canon. So I give the win to C2, and then Pro Nano. I haven't heard very good things about the Avery ceramic. It's kind of hazy. Well, so I'm gonna let these doors dry a little bit before I close all of them. But there's food up front right now, so I am going to go take advantage of that and say hello to my family. So I'm going to shout out some super chats because we are pretty much where we are. We're at the end here. The car is done. I'm just going to, like I said, give those doors a little bit of time to kind of dry and I'll touch them up and then shut everything up. So that's just some things, some time things. Activity feed. But before we leave, big shout outs to all the super dupers: Jose, Swole Gang, DW, Supreme, Window Tinting, DC Customs, Devin. Oh, that's going into yesterday's. Oh, I went a little farther. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you to everybody, and yesterday. And for everybody that super chatted that didn't get fog. Yay! Thank you. I much appreciate it. Hope you guys learned something. This was a cool car to tint. We will be live tomorrow. We got a Camaro tomorrow. So it's probably going to be the one with a really small back window. That's not going to be fun to live stream that part. I ran to Walmart and now it's over. It's just that quick. We've been live for like a little while now. All right, I gotta go before they decide to leave. All righty, you guys have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.